We are back for episode 4. The light is blue. I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. Not just because Rangers got promoted last season, but the blue just looks much better. Roll the credits, and it will go back to green when we come back. Hello and welcome to Gone on Holiday, the Football Manager YouTube channel ran by you, the community. It's back on green. Celtic had an incredible season last season, finishing 6th. They've qualified for the Europa League. We'll check to see if their Europa League campaign has started yet. It's the 21st of July, going into the 4th season now. We'll first of all check in on MK Dons because that's how the team everyone wants to know about, I guess. We're still in League One. Knocked out of the playoffs again. Good bit of banter there by Football Manager. But yeah, let's jump straight in and see whether or not Celtic have started their season just yet. And nothing drawn, so either they've just not drawn the cups yet, or something's gone horribly wrong and a team won a cup somewhere, which means one team had to drop out. And I've just seen that Derby have been promoted, so this just could be the worst start to an episode ever. Who would have finished top? Let's see if these guys have got. Yeah, so even United don't have any of their European fixtures put in yet, so that gives us some hope. So what we'll do is skip back to the Celtic fixtures, and we'll just go on holiday until the start of the season. And I have already sniffed out a Friday game on TV. It's the first Old Firm derby in 3 years. So let's go to the first game of the season, check out where Celtic are going to be playing their European games, whether or not they're going to be playing their European games, check in on all the transfers, and yeah, let's get to that Old Firm game. So we're at the start of the 4th season on this save. Celtic don't seem to have any European fixtures, which worries me greatly still. I will just go and quickly do what we did last time and check United to see if they've played any. They don't have any scheduled either. I have no idea what's happening. We'll keep an eye on this one. I'll take us through the transfers and I'll take us through the teams and the managers, but I am keen to see what happens with this European football situation because it's creeping me out. I'll triple check. And again, nothing for City either. So I've never seen this before. I'm hoping it's nothing to do with the save, but there's been some weird things in this game so far. So let's go and have a look at the two teams. And yes, Michael O'Neill is still in charge. That's 2 years and 202 days. Transfer history will go back into last summer, which is the one signing, Noah Okafor from Salzburg, left winger, valued at £21 million. No goals last season, 4 assists, each to their own. And any sales? No sales there. So let's have a look at what they've been up to. And no, so maybe that does suggest that they don't have European football. I don't know. £2.5 million so far. And they did sell Alvaro Fernandez, who they brought in from Spain, I think it was. So their goalkeeper has gone for quite a hefty sum of money. So we'll see if they replace him. I'm assuming. Nope, they haven't done that yet. Who's currently sat in goal for them? Just some lad called Paul Byrne. Not bad stats, but probably not Premier League ready. So yeah, I think that might be an area of concern for them, because the only other player they've got in goal is a lad called Rhys Davis, who's definitely nowhere near Premier League quality. They do have who I'm assuming is their sub-goalkeeper, having featured 6 times last season. So, but he's also transfer listed. So I don't know what Michael O'Neill's doing, but we've got to keep the faith. We've got to keep the faith in him. He's done the business so far. He's technically got Celtic into Europe, although technically not, but technically into Europe. And Rangers have already actually played a game. And a 3-1 loss. And to rub salt in a wound, Conor Gallagher scored against them. I hope he didn't celebrate. But even the Carabao Cup second round ties haven't been drawn, so no idea what's going on with any of the cup competitions this season. But let's have a look. Pavel Verba's still in charge. Not that I thought he'd get sacked, but maybe get poached from someone somewhere. Have a look at the transfers. So yeah, I thought I saw Benrahma scoring on the opening day of the season. Good little signing there. 18 Blair. Let's see what he's been up to. This save left West Ham after the first season. In-game stats in the Championship, and then last season in the Prem for Brighton. Not great. £16 million though, probably arguably worth a punt. Couple of sales, Zungu and Kieran Dixon, both leaving and bringing in a bit of money, recouping some of that Benrahma funding. And Jensen Weir, also of Brighton, 21-year-old midfielder. Stats look not too bad at all. So yeah, not much to write home about so far. I will go and find out when the transfer window closes, so 2 weeks and 3 days. So I'll fast forward to there. Hopefully the cups have sorted themselves out by then. Everything's done and we can just get on with our season, because right now everyone's feeling it. Just there's a bit of an anxious vibe around here and I don't like it. Okay, end of the transfer window, but before we carry on with the video, please make sure you like and subscribe. Drop a comment down as well if you want to say hi, say hi. But more importantly, this YouTube channel is community run, so if you've got any good suggestions for scenarios, anything you want to see, we'll pop it in the database and perhaps make a video out of it and get your name on a video as well. So please make sure you do that. It really does help the channel. So onwards and upwards. Celtic, I can see prospering, which is always nice to see in this save in particular. Do you know what? I'm gonna get over the Cups. I'm just gonna get over it. It's clearly not going to happen, and I just visual speechlessness is what's going on here. Good start to the league campaign. The Old Firm game is the 22nd of September, so we'll keep an eye on that one. And Rangers have dragged themselves out of the drop zone with a 2-1 win at Bournemouth, 2-2 draw against Derby, and a tidy little Carabao Cup win against Wolves. So let's skip ahead to the Old Firm, first Old Firm in 3 years. We're not even going to bother about the Cups because I'm salty and I'm just over it now. I'm sorry, Celtic, but Long may your good form continue. But before we move on, we'll just quickly recap the final transfer window signings. And yet things did get a lot busier for Rangers. So we've got the signing of Conor Gallagher, who is a beast on Football Manager 2020. Stats look good on this as well. So centre midfielder from Chelsea. Keane Lewis Porter, I was going to say striker, and usually plays up front. They've got him down as a left winger here. Let's see if he's been doing the business for Hull. Not so much, actually. A lot of games in the Championship, not a lot of goals. Perhaps they have actually been playing him left wing. But £16 million. Cole Palmer in on loan from Man City. Good little sign in there. And again, speaking of good signings, Brahim Diaz from Real Madrid. What's he been up to this save? Was on loan at Valencia, rarely used. So yeah, his career's not really kick-started. His only real decent season since the game save was playing for Milan. So, you know, a decent standard there. But let's see if he gets a game at Rangers. Full signing as well. That is not a loan signing. Centre half Diogo Quiros. Chelsea decided to buy him, then sell him straight away. Classic Chelsea. And Kazawa, only 30 years old. I thought he might be older than that. So a decent little signing for Rangers there, especially on the money they bought him in for, 1.4. So I had to make sure that wasn't the Diaz they'd only just signed, but Paulo Diaz has left. Just under 5 mil there. And Daniel Armati's gone. Quite surprising. I think he featured quite a lot in the 2 seasons he was there, and for not next to nothing as well. But again, these two managers are doing the business, so no questions asked there. And we'll just have a quick little look at how they are lining up this season. Much bigger squad than last season. Who is their left back? Jada Silva. 2 not bad left backs for a team that's only just come up into the Prem. And the Celtic team, which is going to be the team that's going to take us through to at least January. And the Celtic team, and yeah, we can see they've got themselves a goalkeeper already. So Pontus Dahlberg in from Watford. Seem to be doing the business over in Watford there, so seems like a pretty good signing as far as Celtic are concerned. James Norris in, the English left back. I think he starts at Liverpool. And Carlos Perez, a right winger from Bayern Munich, formerly of Barcelona and Roma. So yeah, I think they'll be expecting big things from this guy. That was a bit of a Europa League signing. That was some real pedigree in a couple of those signings. And the only other sale was Riedeveld, who must have turned in a few performances over the 2 years he was here, and they lost a bit of money on him as well, but he's gone from Palace to Celtic to Brighton. And yeah, this is how Celtic are lining up, with Santos Boré up front once again, who's now valued at £35 million. So potentially a good bit of business there. They've still got Max Aarons at right back. They're starting to get a good little team together here. Interesting times for both teams. And let's just double check when that first Old Firm derby is. So let's go to September, then straight into December. I mean, this is what we like to see, and probably not what I expected a couple of episodes ago, but Celtic and Rangers sitting in 6th and 7th. And I know there's only been 5 games, but let us dream. Come on, I mean, Rangers were 2 seasons in the Championship, for God's sake. Let's have a look at the... Oh, the Cups are back in now, aren't they? So yeah, of course it would have been postponed. It's because it's because I was getting salty. The game said nope, not having any of that, and yeah, it got pushed back. So we have to wait even longer for the Old Firm. I'm just going to take us straight through to December like we normally do. We will check out the Europa Group League teams. Panathinaikos, Sevilla, so difficult tie there. Rapid Vienna. It's doable, especially considering how Celtic are looking these days. We'll just quickly dive into a game here, see how the team are lining up with that 4-2-3-1. But yeah, they're already starting to pick up results, and quite convincingly as well. Whereas Rangers, no European football for them. It might be a blessing in disguise, especially as it looks like they're trying to take Celtic on head to head at the moment. They do have a Carabao Cup third round tie against Leicester, so let's sim through, let's go on holiday and see how both teams are doing come December. So it's December time, let's see what the game's got in store for us now. So straight into the Premier League. Rangers have done a Rangers and they've dropped into the relegation zone. Celtic sitting comfortable in mid-table, 6 points off of the drop zone, and just the 4 points from the European places. Most importantly, let's check out the result of... It got moved again. It does not want us to have an Old Firm. The only positive I'm taking from this is there's 2 Old Firms in January. Other than that, yeah. So a 4th round Carabao Cup exit to Man City for Celtic. They seem to be going relatively strong in the Europa League group stage. Losing only to Sevilla there. Perhaps not going as well as they wanted to in the Prem. A 3-2 defeat away to newly promoted Bournemouth. And let's see what Rangers are up to, who of course don't have any European football to deal with, and still a lot of red, especially in the Premier League. Unbeaten in 2, but haven't won since the 16th of September. They did manage to get through the Carabao Cup against Leicester, 3-2 victory there, away from home as well. They're through to the 5th round where they will face Man City, so always seems to be the way with these 2 teams in this save. They have had some pretty tough draws. In terms of managers, we'll see if any of the boards have fancied a bit of a change. I mean, Pavel Verba got them to the Prem. Whether or not he's going to keep them there, especially if they're languishing in 19th place, I'm not too sure. Whereas on the other hand, yeah, Michael O'Neill, I don't think he's going to have too much of an issue here with the club competing in the Europa League quite competitively as well, whilst sitting smack bang in the middle of the Prem. So we'll go straight through then, if there's no Old Firm to check out, straight to the end of December. Check out both teams' transfers and obviously get the double results. Obviously, if they've not been moved, which I'm not saying anything, and also see how Celtic are getting on and Rangers in their cup competitions. It's February, the transfer window's shut. Let's check in on the teams, see how they're doing. Before we move on, please do like the video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment. Okay, so first and foremost, the league table. How are we doing? Rangers, you're not doing me any favours here. I do want the light to be blue. It does look cooler. It's nothing against Celtic. But come on, guys, you're killing me. They're not totally out of it just yet. They are 5 points from safety. Celtic probably a little bit closer to the drop zone than they would like. But also they're still only 4 points away from those European places as well. So we'll jump straight into the Celtic results. And the first Old Firm in 3 seasons finished 2-2. Back and forth. Here's how the two teams lined up, both playing a 4-2-3-1 as we've seen throughout the save. That was on the 3rd of January. And the reverse fixture has, of course, been played. Hey, thank you. It's been a long time coming, but Celtic have done the business over Rangers at Ibrox, and the XG, crazy. Rangers have well and truly been football managered there, but Celtic come away with all 3 points. Rangers languishing at the bottom of the table. Let's see if they've brought anyone in to help change that. First and foremost, Berber's still in charge. That does remind me, while we are here, let's have a little look in on Steven Gerrard. Still unemployed. Doesn't make sense to me, but I guess without the real life manager performance of Steven Gerrard, arguably not done that much before that happened. Transfer history then, absolutely no one in January, which bit strange. And they sold their goalkeeper. Okay, so who does that leave in goal for? There's no one. They've just not got a goalkeeper. I'm guessing Robin McCrory will go in goal. Really strange decision that. That might break their season. And that was on transfer deadline day as well. So bit of a strange one there. I think he's pretty much played every single game for Rangers since he came in from Brighton. But again, like we said, we'll keep the faith. Hopefully the two managers know what they're doing. I can't see it myself, but hey. And Michael O'Neill's still in charge at Celtic and doing a pretty good job. Kenny Tete from Schalke has come in, right back, previously of Brighton, Fulham, Lyon and Ajax. That was 11 mil going up to 15. Liam Delap as well, in on loan, the striker. Let's see if he's been getting up to anything. Couple of in-game loans at QPR, 14 and 17 goals in the Championship there. And a left back from Chelsea, previously of Mönchengladbach. So starting to splash the cash a little bit here. Cameron Carter-Vickers. So yeah, building to that new look Celtic team. And a couple of departures, not too much. Dale Fry was loaned out, the centre-half they brought in last season. So by all means, at first glances, it looks like Celtic have done the best business. They probably do have a little bit more money to chuck around. We will double check to see how they've been getting on in their Europa campaign. Another FA Cup defeat to Manchester United. United love knocking both of these teams out of cups. They did get through to the Europa League first knockout round against Real San Sebastian, who are in the Spanish First Division apparently. So everything to play for in terms of Premier League survival, and Celtic in terms of trying to scrape back into those European places, and obviously this European campaign as well. The Rangers Cup run was ended with a 3-0 defeat away to Man City, where they had 21 shots, and not a bad little team that City have got at the moment. So again, all that was left was the FA Cup, which they have been dispatched in by Chelsea 4-2. So once again for Rangers, it's just that run in until the end of the season. They've been in this position before. Obviously, they didn't do too well that time. Hopefully, this time they use that experience and can turn it around. There's no more old firms, so we can sim straight through to the end of the season. It is the end of season 4. No introductions. Let's just jump straight into it. Our worst fears have been confirmed. Rangers, there will be no blue light anytime soon. Rangers have gone and ruined it, conceding 81 goals along the way, and I don't even think they picked up a single point from the 2nd of February when we signed off, so absolute letdowns. In terms of Celtic's season, 42 points. Would they take that, having been in the Europa League at the same time? Possibly. They're still in the Prem. They're still getting that money in. The finances still say they're still rich. Michael O'Neill is still in charge. Let's see how they got on in the Europa League. And yeah, much like Rangers, they let the save down. Knocked out by Real San Sebastian. And again, the form towards the back end of the season was a bit naff, so not much to report back on there. More importantly, the OK finances. It does still say that Verber's in charge. I mean, he did get them up. Is he the right person to have again next season? I guess we'll only find out. In terms of results, yeah, we were right. Just the 1 point, and they deserve to go down for that. I'm sorry, but Rangers fans might hate me for saying, but yeah, it doesn't make for good reading, does it? Your 2 wingers on 9 and 8 goals were your top goal scorers. Yeah, quite poor all round, I think. And let's have one last look at the Celtic team that finished the season. Santos Borre, the only player finishing on double figures. A bit of a quiet season for Celtic, considering the money they spent, the 60 mil they spent. But again, they're balancing the books, and it seems to be quite a pattern over the seasons. We'll jump into Scotland before we sign off for the episode and have a little look to see if, history has repeated itself. It's between the 2 ex-Prem teams, West Brom and Fulham. We'll check the Betfred Cup final in December again. You'll love to see it. But what West Brom would have liked to have seen is a defeat on penalties. And again, I always forget these 2 teams are in the Champions League. To be fair to them, they never do that much, but hey, it's the taking part that counts. And a Scottish Cup final to boot for West Brom, so a bit of a double for those guys this season, and we'll see if Fulham manage to grab anything in the Europa or Champions League. Not even a win. So quite a quiet season as far as Fulham are concerned. Just the 2nd place finish for those. But again, those 2 teams remained untouched. at the end of the season for the 4th season in a row. So those guys are finding it much easier in Scotland than arguably the Scottish teams are finding it in England. As we like to do, we'll just do a quick roundup. Manchester United did win the Premier League for the 2nd year running, City 2nd for the 2nd year running, and Liverpool in 3rd. Derby did go down, so one bit of positive news from this season's save. Mbappe and Mason Greenwood leading the top goal scorers. Harry Kane didn't get over an 8 this time and was pipped by Kylian Mbappe with the average rating. Fernandes, Maddison, De Bruyne, usual suspects for the assists, and most man of the matches, Mbappe with 12. So that takes us to the end of episode 4. If you've got any scenarios you want to see made into a video, pop them down in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It really does help. And thank you so much for tuning in, and see you on the next episode.